Oh, I agree that it's over.
So, guys, one of the largest gaming channels on YouTube has basically went thermonuclear and destroyed itself. The owner, Rich Review Tech USA, he destroyed the channel, and this is going to have a lot of implications and rippling through the gaming industry, online gaming content. This is massive. And this really touches off an issue about mental health among men and the reason why we need to talk more about men's mental health. Watch the end of the video to fully understand the implications of what Rich has done and how this major issue may set off more men just walking away. Also, today's video comes from Dreamcast Guy. His channel will be linked in the description, so you can go check him out and support him. The audio in the video, I recorded it while laying in bed. I know, very bad on me, and I didn't have on the right settings, so there ended up being quite a bit of background noise from the fan. I thought about not giving you guys the video, and then I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to give you guys a video. So you've been warned. There's some noise from the fan. I will try never to do this again. Go ahead, enjoy the video, but do know that the fan noise is there. I've done my best to try to remove as much of it as possible, but it's still there. But now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
This video is going to be completely different from anything else on the channel. Typically, I talk about gaming news and do game reviews and stuff like that, but that's as Dreamcast Guy. Consider this to be like a Max rant because I am actually concerned about Rich of Review Tech USA, and I want to talk about it because I think you need help. I think you need professional help. Rich, I hope you see this video, and I want to talk about the whole situation with him. So yesterday, he deleted his channel. He just straight up clicked delete on a YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers. Now, a lot of the replies are saying, it's a stupid decision. I can't believe you did it. A lot of people are being like, bro, you got to get canceling. This is not the way. And a lot of people are saying that something about this is very off. People are guessing it's because of YouTube drama. Over the course of the last year, 2 years, Rich has been getting into a lot of YouTube drama. But in my opinion, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I've been a frequent watcher now of Review Tech USA since pretty much he started his channel. Now, if you've never watched him, this guy was tremendously influential to the gaming space. He was a personal inspiration to me. I'm lucky I've had a chance to talk to Rich, do podcasts with him, and private DM with him a bunch. Rich is a very chill guy, and he came up with a very chill style of content. He used to do pretty much daily uploads where whatever gaming story that personally struck his interest, whether it was a bad review score or some merger or some game being announced, he'd just talk about it. A lot of times it didn't even show his face. He would just straight up show like usually Call of Duty gameplay, show like random Wii U games or whatever, and he'd talk about it. And it really created this connection to it. Like Rich's content was incredibly fun because it did feel like you knew him, right? Like the content was so chill. He would mix in all sorts of funny other videos where he'd talk about, how bad it is trying to date in your 30s. He talked about working at retail stores and stuff like that. Review Tech USA blew up, and it definitely felt like it deserved to blow up. But according to that rise, he always got a lot of backlash and hate. But I think every YouTuber does, right? I mean, anybody. Philip DeFranco, any streamer you like is constantly getting loved and hated. I mean, people act like I'm the worst YouTuber on the planet, but then also I get millions of views and people do like me and stuff like that. So I feel like everybody gets teared down. Just that's the nature of stuff, right? It's the same with Hollywood celebrities and stuff. You could be the biggest, most popular guy, and people are going to talk about how much they despise you. You could find some like GeoCities hate blog. But I do think Rich had the problem with kind of internalizing the drama. I feel like the hardest part about this job is that you really can't care what people say about you. And at a certain point, I feel like it's just not good for your mental health to look at what people are saying about you. Like, this guy had over 1 million subscribers, and he does still have a side channel, which we're going to talk about in a bit, but if you have 1 million subscribers, clearly people like you. Clearly people want to hear what you have to say. People clearly enjoy and engage and are there for your content, right? I mean, it feels like I always thought Rich was one of those people that really managed to come out there and make his own style of stuff and really took off because he figured out this vibe, this rhythm that other people hadn't. But he definitely cared a lot about the drama. When people would accuse him of having a bad camera or being a lolcow or whatever, it really seemed to bother him. Now, Rich, obviously, I'm a much smaller YouTuber. I'm like 240,000 subscribers. So your main channel is 4 times bigger than I've ever been. But people send me stupid hate too, right? I get comments about people talking about wanting to torture my cat to death and saying that I'm a horrible human being for saying Xbox is going to fail. At a certain point, I think you have to stop reading the comments. You got to stop reading the replies. You got to stop caring. Now, obviously, that's a lot easier said than done. I feel like what every YouTuber needs to have is a hobby that isn't YouTube, right? I'm super into fitness. I do board game nights with my bros every single week. My girlfriend and I go on lots of dates where we put on silly outfits or dress up or whatever like that. And I'll be honest, I don't look at the comments. I don't look at the replies. I'll look at stuff here and there to make sure there's not like editing errors and stuff, but I'm not going to be Googling my own name and watching videos of people that hate me and stuff like that.
So it really seems like you guys got the basic gist of the insanity that transpired. And I think a lot of this relates to the mental health of men in Western society and the issues that men are facing right now when it comes to mental health. And it is 100% clear that Rich is facing serious mental health issues because a person who has 1 million subscribers on their channel would not go and delete the entire damn channel just like that. He's been getting into arguments with Boogie2988 and other YouTubers, and then he's also tried to stand from this position like, oh, he's smarter or wiser when he really isn't. And now you can see the consequences of this occurring. You know, where he had his mental breakdown. Then there's also the abusive relationship he had with his former editor, Jay, who's now a successful YouTuber, where he wouldn't pay him and he was berating him and stalking him and harassing him. Honestly, I don't feel too bad for Rich.
So, Rich deleted his channel. He deleted his channel, and it came as a shock to a lot of people. Many of you may know about Review Tech USA, but some of you don't. So Review Tech USA has been around for like 10 years or more. Like, I think it's actually been more like 15 years. And basically, he is one of the OGs in the space in terms of making gaming videos, talking about games, talking about PC technology, all of that stuff. You know, he had an editor named Jay. I don't know how long Jay was with him, but maybe for quite some time. And he would help with the video edits, and he would pay Jay. And Jay had maybe helped him to build Review Tech into the empire that it became. But then, you know, now he deleted the channel. I think it had maybe over 1 million subscribers at the time of its deletion. And Rich also has another channel called RTU Streams, where he does his streaming. He posts a bunch of different streaming videos on there. And, you know, it does okay for itself. But he really, for a long time now, he's been pandering, and we could see that he wants to get on LolCow Live. LolCow Live is another channel. It's like a podcast, but they do like a live format, and it has Boogie2998 on there. It has Keemstar. He's the puppet master, and he'll have Boogie doing things that will humiliate himself, where he goes and gets a tattoo, because evidently Boogie lied about having CANCER. He claimed that he did when he really didn't have it. I don't know if it's true or not. Boogie's also done some things on Twitter, I believe, where he's blown up. He said some things he should not have said, and it's really resulted in a lot of people being frustrated with him. But he still has an audience over the years. You know, Boogie is a person who went through a lot of ABUSE from the hands of his mother. And as a result of that, his mental state is not the greatest. There was also a documentary, like The Dark Life of Boogie29988. It came out some time ago, maybe like a year ago. It was pretty recent still. And it kind of detailed his life, and I found it to be pretty interesting. But, you know, it portrayed him in a very dark light. I think maybe a bit darker than it absolutely should have. I don't think Boogie is a bad guy. I think Boogie is a decent guy. He's a complicated guy. And in the end, he's on Lol Cow Live. He's making his money on Lol Cow Live. Good for him. But again, it's a lot of BS. And you have to remember that the internet is total BS. And Boogie, I think, is actually quite a bit of an adult, because there are many things that he does that are adult-like. As adults, we make mistakes. We're still children trying to figure out how to do life right. And you have people who are total jerks. They act like, oh, I'm Mr. Big Adult. I know what I'm doing. And it's like they don't know what they're doing. That's why some of these people end up in prison years later. And it's like, oh, I thought you knew what you were doing, big boy. And they're like, you're not even talking to them anymore because they're in protective custody. So there you go, or they're in the shoe, which has been said, which is pretty much almost like the same thing in some cases. But yeah, so, you have Review Tech USA. And this guy thought he was, something special. He did some terrible things to his editor, Jay. He was really nasty to this guy. He was really, really nasty to Jay. He made Jay's life absolutely miserable. He fired Jay. He didn't pay Jay the money that he owed him. But Jay's doing great right now. After he left Review Tech, a lot of people from Review Tech left the channel and went over in like day one and started supporting Jay. Now Jay can pay his rent. He has this giant video game collection, which we get to enjoy on the streams. He's always wearing different costumes. He does live streaming outside sometimes. So he'll go like on a walk, and he has friends, something that I've never really seen that many of Rich's friends. So he'll have his friends on stream. He'll have I don't know if it's his current girlfriend or like an ex-girlfriend. It's just much more interactive. It's a nicer environment. And Jay has always gone above and beyond to avoid, trying to destroy Rich's name in terms of like, for example, people trying to label Rich a PEDO, and Jay is like, no, he is not, and we're not going to do that. And you have to respect Jay for doing these things, for being an adult about it. But now his channel is gone. He just suddenly woke up. Rich just woke up and he's like, that's it. And he deletes Review Tech USA.
Like, the human brain is not constructed to properly handle stadium-fulls of people yelling at you. It just collapses in on itself. So if anything, I think the best way to do YouTube is work, write your scripts, edit your content, and then step away from it. Go read a book, go ride a bike, stuff like that. YouTube is fun. I like YouTube, but this ain't my life. This is my fun job that I'm lucky to have. And I feel like Rich started to fall into the trap where he just wanted to be liked. He wanted to be beloved. But this also goes beyond that. Even that. I feel like Rich, I think you're having a chemical imbalance. For the last year or two, your behavior has become very erratic. A lot of your inside jokes about birds, you randomly ripping off your clothes in every live stream and stuff like that. Like, I get that it's supposed to be silly. I get that it's a joke, but it still seems like something is a bit off. Like, sitting on stream reacting to DSP clips for hours and hours every night, clearly stoned out of your brain. I just think that's not healthy. Now, you can disagree. You can say, hey, it's his life, he can live it. But I think something has clearly shifted. As a person that's been watching your content now for over 10 years, I've definitely have 10 years of solid, rich content I've observed. He slowly unraveled. You were filming videos where you'd walk into a mall and scream about the quartering. You're starting to do stuff that I think is a bit of a cry for help. It's hard to tell when you're mentally ill because it's like self-diagnosis is such a trap. It's like if you break both your hands and now you're trying to put a cast on the other hand. You just can't do it. Even if you're motivated and focused, you're too busted to properly fix the problem yourself. But that's okay. I've had friends that had actual mental breakdowns, mental breaks where they had to be institutionalized. And I'll straight up say it. every one of my friends that have come out of being institutionalized is better for it. A lot of them have actually come out and said, well, it was nice to finally, given some meds, figure stuff out, actually have a counselor tell me what's going on and work through trauma and stuff like that. And a lot of those people for the rest of their lives are much, much better off. Now, Rich, I'm not saying you need to be institutionalized or locked up, but I do personally think that it would be good for you to just talk to a professional, whether it is a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I'm not even saying you necessarily need medication, but after the stuff that happened with your daughter, I just think your behavior is starting to get super strange. I don't think normal people would delete, 10 years of content. This guy used to be one of the best. And I'm going to say, I don't care about the drama. I do not care about what Boogie2988 said about him. I don't care what Jay said about him. I'm fine with that. I'm not saying that those points are irrelevant, but I think this goes beyond it. Rich, I think that you need to be able to have a professional externally help address your life. I don't even think it's necessary for you to bring the channel back. I don't even think it's necessary for you to keep doing what you've always been doing, right? I mean, everybody takes different paths in life. I think it'd be fun to be a YouTuber forever, but I'd also be happy if I ended up just getting a job at a gym and became like a personal trainer or something like that, because I do genuinely love lifting weights, and I've been doing personal training with my friends, and I've been having a blast with that. I'm just saying, this seems to be something that a mentally healthy person would not do. This seems like a very, very bad situation. It's reminding me a bit of Etika, and how Etika deleted his channel and got banned and stuff right before he passed away. So maybe my concerns are unfounded, but Rich, friend to friend. Obviously, you've made a video hating on me at one point. I think I made a video making fun of you once long, long ago. Drama aside, stupid BS aside, stupid random video game BS or whatever, I'm telling you as a friend, you've got my DMs, you've got my phone number. If you want to talk, I really, really, really think you got to get some help, man.
I gotta tell you guys, life is so interesting. Life is so very, very interesting. You have to kind of be on top of your game and know what you're doing. And Rich, he deleted this channel that he had poured so much time into over the years. He had poured so much time into this over the years, only to just throw it away like that, and the community rightfully is kind of looking at him like side-eyed, like, dude, you just destroyed something that we spent years following you. Like I said, I left, I quit, I unfollowed him a minute ago because of that whole debacle. But a lot of people stayed with Rich. A lot of people kept supporting him, and this is what he did. He deleted review tech. I check analytics. He could have pivoted to any other angle. He chose not to, and now the channel is gone. And people were saying that he's like, Rich is acting like, oh, I feel good today about this decision. You have to do what you know is right when it's right. And now fast forward, we can all see where it's headed. Like the next day, what have I done? Like, Rich definitely needs mental health help, but and he smokes a lot of pot. That is the elephant in the room, and it makes you unproductive. It can really, really make you unproductive. And it is the elephant. He smoked a lot of pot, and it has made him extremely unproductive. You cannot say that his situation, his issue with pot, POT has not made him extremely unproductive. It has made him lazy. I think he goes like, I'm an overweight guy and I'm lazy and blah, blah, blah. And he's like trying to put himself down. But you know what, Rich? Guess what, dude? You sat around. You chose not to get yourself in shape. He did lose some weight, and I commend him for doing that. But he could have done a lot better. Like, the years have been going on. There's Ozempic. There's Manjaro or Zepbound. there's a bunch of choices out there now, dude. You could do better than this. In terms of working hard, all he does is sit on RTU stream. And I mean, I understand, like, you know, if that's your job, cool. But he has 100% not been doing what he's supposed to do. And it seems kind of apparent, he cannot afford another editor. You know, like Jay, he owed Jay quite a bit of money. Jay was friends. Jay is in Canada, I believe, and Jay would fly from Canada and come to like Rich sometimes and be there at Rich's place. And, you know, they were friends, but Rich really took advantage of that guy. He destroyed that friendship, and it's hard, especially in this economy right now. Everything costs so much more, and I'll tell you guys about that too. You know, for example, you guys enjoy a lot of the content that I put out. You guys enjoy a lot of the things, but you don't know how much the stuff costs. Like, you know, I have to use tons of video editing software. I have to use a lot of expensive technology. Now, you go into the descriptions of my videos, you can see all the different, like, you know, what my setup looks like right now. You know, my MacBook, my 16-inch MacBook Pro, you know, my MacBook Air, and then the microphone that I'm using, and then the mixer, and then, you know, and then there's all the software in the background. And I have paid subscriptions to all of these softwares. You know, everything from the video editor. My video editor is not free. Nothing is free. All of this is a business, and then I have to pay people to do things in the background so that you guys can enjoy these things. For you're like, oh, I want you to be on this other platform, Angry. Okay, well, do you understand that I have to have staff that's helping to move stuff over to these platforms and doing all of these little things in the background? So it costs money. And then on top of that, I have to do a lot of things on myself because, you know, it's like, you know, if you know how to do it, when you know how to do something right, it's basically like you have to do it yourself because no one's going to do it the way that you want it done. And it's very hard. And as a result of that, I'm always working. It's hard. When you have a good friend, someone that you can rely on and believe in and trust in, it's a completely different reality. And, you know, Rich took advantage of Jay. He can't find someone that is going to work for him and be there and help him out the way that Jay is. So he can't run Review Tech anymore. He can't. His giant ego destroyed everything. And I'm going to talk to you right now. He's running his mouth and he's talking about going and working a normal job. As if that's going to be easy to do. This guy has been a business owner for the last 15 years. You know, he's been doing Review Tech forever. And now he's talking about going back to a job and, like, you know, he can go and find a job in the real world. Like, bro, people are struggling to find jobs. You have no active skill sets. You have no portfolio. Like, what are you going to do? Go be an editor? You're going to compete with the guys with the Indian developers overseas, like, you know, that specialize in this stuff. Guys in India, Pakistan, these other countries, I know because that's where I hire them from. You're not going to compete with these guys. You don't have the skill sets that these guys have. Oh, wait, you didn't mean that. Because, guys, those guys from those parts of the world, they're working for Americans. They're working for people like me. They're working for much larger people than me. And they're making crazy amounts of money. Okay? Because, like, what I used to pay for things to be done back in because I've been using freelancers for decades, and I was even a freelancer myself. But what I used to spend for a freelancer in 2000 or 2010 is completely different compared to, like, 2024, where we're practically spending. Guys, it's so bad right now that I can hire people. I can hire someone who is in England for less than someone who works over in Pakistan, because the guy from Pakistan is no longer trying to undercut the guy from India, the guy from the United Kingdom. The guy from the United Kingdom is trying to undercut the guy from India, and he's basically, the guy from India is like, listen, I'm going to do a better job than the guy from the United Kingdom. That's the reason why you should hire me. Like, guys, I have people working for me that are from India, from Pakistan, from Africa, and the people and you have people from the United States, people from the United Kingdom that are competing with these guys. And the best work that I've gotten is unfortunately from the people in Pakistan and India and Africa. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I have to spend a lot more. The better prices, I get better prices now in some cases from people in the United States, or United States and in the United Kingdom. So it predominantly in Western, predominantly English-speaking countries, white English-speaking countries, I can get better prices, but I may not get the same quality of labor that I'm going to get from someone overseas, and they know this. So they are charging more than their American-speaking counterparts. How much more? How different is it? Like twice. Like, for example, I can hire a copywriter. Those are the people that, do the text on sites. So, like, for example, the language, stuff like that. I can hire, if I want to hire a copywriter overseas versus the United States or the United Kingdom, it could cost me half of what it would cost in the United States to hire someone versus overseas. So I would pay half in the United States, half of what I would have to pay someone overseas. That's how crazy it is, because they're like, we're just better at the job than people in Western society. So the prices have gone way up, way up, and it's like, this guy is not going to be able to compete with these people. These people, get out of here. Rich does not have those skill sets. He went on his tangent, he made this bad decision, and this is where he's going to find himself right now. And like I said, I'm not crying for Rich. I am 100% not crying for Rich, because Rich did this to himself. He did this to himself. He imploded that channel. He had a golden spoon. And then one of the worst parts about all of this is what Rich is going to do. Again, he's going to sit around and he's going to cry about it, and he's going to act like it's someone else's fault, or it's his fault, and everyone should, like, he's gonna beat up on himself. So it's gonna, like, bro, it's like no one wants to beat up on you. Then at the same time, it's like you're gonna make yourself look so pathetic that everyone's to say, "Oh, he's so pathetic. I'm not even gonna beat up on him. Like, I'm just gonna leave him be." Like, this is it's so ridiculous. It is, and this kind of goes back to the whole mental health thing right now, where a lot of people, their mental health is no good. And I like watching shows. I like watching psych hacks. Like, I'm thinking, like, psych hacks is not perfect, but I'm gonna say he is a proper doctor. Like, bro should have went and got his, I don't know, I shouldn't say it like this, but I feel like bro should have went and got his medical degree, or they just need to start allowing these types of people to prescribe prescriptions, because psych hacks is just kind of nasty sometimes, where, like, he'll straight up say things like, if you're just a lazy person, you're just a lazy person, and there's nothing we can do about that. He'll give up on you. And it's like, what? He's a clinical psychologist. And I thought he was younger than me, but he's actually my age, which is just kind of crazy. It just shows how young the millennials look compared to, Gen Z, who's like, guys, there was a Gen Zer, like, that I blocked on Substacks recently because she started spouting. She's like, be kind. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can't. And, like, we were joking around back and forth because I guess her mom's a Gen Xer. And I was like, we were cool first. And then I was like, she started spouting crap about being kind, and I was like, yeah, I don't like that whole liberal thing, a liberal vibe, and I just blocked her like that. And I was recommending her Substack. So she was a small Substacker, and I just took it away. So no more views from me to you, and and just like that, I cut her off. And it's like, I just kind of find it interesting. I think that's kind of like the whole manosphere thing in 2024. And she was kind of a baddie, but I thought she was like a 40-year-old baddie. Because, bro, Gen Z are like at least in her 30s. I had no idea she was like a Gen Zer. I thought I was dealing with someone who was my age, or around my age, because, like, I thought she was like a mom. Like, she was like, or something like that. But she just looked pretty decent. I was shocked when she revealed that she was a Gen Zer, because, guys, these people look so old. Oh my gosh, they look so old. Y'all, you want to know what happened recently? So, I had to trim one of my videos from what's this dude? There's this dude on YouTube, this black guy on YouTube who's a Gen Zer, and there was a lot of videos talking about him. Something Stallion, I can't remember his name. And this guy basically, maybe he saw my video and he was like, he just didn't want it up, so I had to basically trim out the his portion of the video where I talk about the fact that he looks so old. And it wasn't just me saying that he looks old. Like, a lot of videos popped up discussing him looking old. So it's likely that it wasn't just me. He just started crying. Like, everyone thinks I'm an old man, you know? And he's like, bro, you're the same one who said it. Like, he met The Rock. And The Rock thought that he was in his 50s. Jesus, this had to have been years ago. The Rock thinks that this is a Gen Zer. He's like 26, 27 years old. And The Rock, okay, The Rock, the wrestler, thought that this kid was in his 50s, or in his late 40s at the time. So he'd be in his 50s now. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you. But, I don't know. Rich is completely lost it. He's gone off the deep end. His mental state is definitely not right. And like I said, I don't think if it came out like, oh, everyone just heard that Review Tech, well, that's what we refer to him as, Review Tech USA. I guess we'll just call him Rich straight up now. You know, that Rich, like, if we heard that like a Control-Alt-Deletion had occurred, no one would be surprised. No one would be surprised. It would. It'd be like, yeah, we saw this one coming. You know, we saw it coming, and of course, like, it'd be like a bow for Boogie, because like he tormented Boogie, and it's like Boogie's still standing. You know, Boogie has his house. He has money coming in. He has a baddie for a girlfriend. He's living a pretty good life. You know, life is just never going to be perfect. And Boogie has stuck it out. I give Boogie credit. He has stuck it out. I don't agree with everything he's done or him humiliating himself for the internet, but he has stuck it out. He has stuck it out. He has stuck out the hardships. Despite all the criticism, he stuck it out. And Review Tech USA, he just imploded and did one of the craziest things. That is a lesson for me that I have to take for myself. Like, no matter how bad things get, do not go and pull a Review Tech USA. If you have to, step away, leave the internet alone, take some time away. You know, I have a hard time taking time off and relaxing, but holy cow. Holy cow. Like, don't be like this Joker. Don't be like this Joker. Guys, one of the things also, like, you gotta have to, like, if you want to do the things that I do, if you want to learn how to record content, create content rapidly, then what I suggest doing is look at, like, you know, I have a course for you guys, my YouTube content creator course. You can create yourself a 6-figure business like mine, and there's a link in the description of the video where you can go and, you know, check that out. Click on the link and, you know, to the YouTuber Academy, YouTuber Content Creator Academy, and go take the course. So you can build something like this. You know, you can check out my headphones right now. You know, the ones that I'm working on. I'm actually like, I woke up today and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm still feel kind of tired. So I'm actually just like recording for you right now. I'm using my headphones to record. These are actually Studio Pros from DUCE. And there's a link to these headphones in the description. You can go check them out. And, you know, there's an affiliate link. I make a little money when you use them. And this is just how, like, you know, I run my business. You have to find different ways where you can make content no matter what you're doing or where you are. But, you know, getting back to just Rich, it's like, I'm just like, dude, you screwed up your life so bad. You know, you're so bad, little bro. Like, you know, you're the little bro. You are 100% the little bro. You know, you messed up your life. You threw everything away. God had given you a golden spoon, and you threw it away. And like I said, his personality was very bad. You know, and he was sitting on this high horse, and everyone said it that he was desperate, literally desperate. This guy was desperate to get onto. He was desperate to get onto onto Lol Cow Live, and this is another thing that's crazy is the fact that none of his videos were backed up. He said, He said that none of his videos were backed up. Like, you guys give me so much grief, and I bet you don't even realize, I bet you don't even know that my videos are backed up. Like, all of these videos. There are 2,000 videos. I got like a notification. I don't know if it was from vidIQ or from YouTube, like telling me congratulations, you've now hit 2,000 videos. Like, this channel, this current iteration of what I'm doing has over 2,000 videos, guys. I have put out over 2,000 videos for you guys in just a little over a year. You know, I started this channel again back in like March of because I've been on YouTube for 10 years, but I was sick for 4 years, and you know, I thank God I started to get better. And within just a little over a year, I've put out over 2,000 videos, going from like March of 2023, March or April of 2023 to now. I have put out over 2,000 videos for you guys. And most of you guys would be like, well, you know, you're like, YouTube is just a hobby. It's a hobby, but what if your videos disappear, like your favorite videos? Like, all of these videos are backed up. This costs money. Now, I will say I am fortunate because there are people that I've worked with in the past, and as a result of that, I can turn to them and say, hey, I have a job for you, and I'm definitely getting a better rate than I would be getting with a lot of other people. Like, you know, to have all of this content backed up, moved over and stored, or, you know, so that so that's accessible on Rumble. Like, that's like, you know, like we have the whole Rumble thing. I do have a Rumble channel. I don't talk much about Rumble right now because I only have like one video that's actually, I only have like 1 or 2 videos that are actually live on there, but the content is there. It's just a matter of, like, you know, getting everything finalized and then beginning to release it in batches for you guys on Rumble. And then on top of that, not only do I have that, but I also have my videos from the last, you know, they go back maybe 7 years, 6, 7 years, and I have all of those videos. I think that's like I don't know how many. That's maybe like 1,000 or more videos as well, right? So, you know, I've been thinking about that. So whenever you guys are like, oh, Gregory, watch your old videos, you know, I have those videos for you too. I don't have the videos from the very, very beginning of my YouTube career going back 10 years, but I do have them going back like maybe like 6 or 7, which is a lot of content in and of itself. And because I had left YouTube at one point where a couple of years ago there were about 400 videos, and those 400 videos were the first videos I ever made. Some of those videos are actually still around, I think, and I did have a source where I could get them. I didn't have all of them, but I had a lot of them, like from the very, very beginning. But you know, now, I mean, like, yeah, all of the videos on Angry Guy are backed up, so you guys have that. And it's like, you know, I've worked hard. It's like I worked so hard to make sure that I can serve this community that we've built here. But realistic, you know, Rich doesn't have any of this stuff. Like, evidently, like, he just made like a crazy decision. And, you know, I don't know, it would surprise me if this guy ends up on a food line very soon. And he has like a daughter, you know, and like his daughter was not well for a while. Like, she was sick for a little while there. It's like, bro, what are you going to do? How are you going to feed your family now? But I definitely think this is going to lead to a greater conversation regarding, you know, mental health and the gaming community here on YouTube and a variety of different things, because everyone's like just in shock right now over what Rich has done. I mean, yeah, this dude literally imploded. Let me know your thoughts regarding this whole situation to Review Tech USA. You know, because I think it's crazy what has happened here. Do you think Rich is going to end up in an extraordinary state of poverty after this? Do you think it's going to create awareness and greater conversation around mental health among you know, gaming YouTubers and just YouTubers in general? Granted, I'm sick of the Gen Zers because they're all like proud of being mentally ill. Like, something is wrong with those group of people. Like, it's like pride for them. Like, oh, I have a mental illness. No, it's not something to boast about, but do talk about it and talk about your struggles and your ups and downs. A lot of people say that Gen Zers are also faking them as well, so you have to be careful with these people. I told you, they're bad muffins, bad muffins. But I don't want to focus too much on Gen Z, even though it's like every video I'm getting some focus of the bad muffins, because they're such bad muffins. But let me know what you think about the whole review tech situation. Definitely go and check out Dreamcast Guy, check out his content, help support his content, and let me know what you guys think. We'll talk about it in the comments.
Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWM and walking away. And cheers.